What's up, you beautiful Redditors? Hope you're having a fantastic Thursday. Welcome to the RNEWS Evening Show. And let's just jump into it. From r/World News. Trump may have bombed Yemen more than all previous US presidents combined, new report finds. Trump's media blackout has been extremely effective. Virtually nothing he's done has been picked up by the media. August 10, 2018, drone use grows under Trump, away from the public eye. March 7, 2019, Trump revokes Obama rule requiring U.S. intelligence officials to publish the number of civilians killed in drone strikes outside of war zones. May 8, 2019, under Donald Trump, drone strikes far exceed Obama's numbers. October 2, 2019, civilian casualties are skyrocketing under Trump. May 22, 2020, Trump's drone war is less accountable than ever. But Obama started all our wars. At our conservative, they're literally celebrating him as a no casualties and no wars president. Doesn't matter whether it's Trump, Obama, Bush or freaking Alice in Wonderland dropping the most bombs. This ain't some competition. The US shouldn't even have anything to do with Yemen anyway. I don't care about party affiliation. Trump, Obama, Bush, Cheney and Clinton should all stand trial for war crimes and causing unspeakable suffering. The fact that none of them ever will is more than a little bit infuriating and yet again proof that there's no real justice in the world. You're watching the RNews show. From r/Politics, Justice Kavanaugh caught cherry-picking line from a law review article that contradicted his conclusion. Roberts' reasoning is solid. There are no federal elections. Therefore a federal court can't overturn a state court unless it's a 14th Amendment violation. Kavanaugh's decision doesn't even read like it's written by a first-year law student, let alone a Supreme Court justice. It relies on guesses and assumptions. For a guy who claims to be a strict constructionist, he sure seems to like to guess about what's best for society. Constitution be damned. Kavanaugh is there for his ideology, not his legal skills. But even still, this is pretty bad. As much of a partisan hack as Thomas is, even he usually dresses his opinions up better than this disgrace. If you think he's bad, wait till you get the wife of The Handmaid's Tale elitist guy from the first season's opinions. That's because that's all strict constructionists do. Wildly interpret what they personally believe was the intent of people who lived and died 2.5 centuries ago. There's nothing constructionist about them. They are wild speculators. This 100%. It's literally a fake philosophy conservatives invented to let them make up rules and push right-leaning policy down the throats of Americans who don't want it. I understand that in theory constitutionalism makes sense, but in practice it's just an excuse to frick over our citizens with backwards jurisprudence. This is a fricking embarrassment to the legal community. The Supreme Court is not qualified to do its job. You're watching the RNews show. From r/Politics, hundreds of Trump supporters stuck in the cold for hours when buses can't reach Omaha rally. The altered mental status caused by the cold, or was that already present when they attended the rally? I'm sure those poor elderly folks understood they are the vulnerable and should be willing to die. For the, no, not economy, that's COVID-19, the opportunity to have their president with their worship. I wonder if they saw their being rescued the cold as a violation of their freedom to linger outdoors in a public space. Perhaps I lack empathy, but they are doing what their party wants, leaving themselves at risk for the benefit of a party of neo-nobles who feel we peasants should have different rules and should be bound by corporate serfdom. Wait up, jammed airport roads. Could this have anything to do with Air Force One being in the area? It would be delicious if Trump was personally responsible for this by destabilizing traffic with his presence. The buses should have been pre-staged on the tarmac with escorts before a single member of the public showed up, re-staged after bringing people in and sit. This however requires planning and paying those bus drivers and staff a decent chunk of change to sit there, like everyone else does already. They're both cruel and incompetent. I didn't think to dress for the cold at an outdoor event. I voted for Trump because he said he would fix everything, and though he didn't, I voted for him again. He tried to kill me with a deadly virus and freezing me to death. But he said he'd remove the brown people. You're watching the RNews show. From r/News, we believe in science. Washington, Oregon and Nevada join California's vaccine review plan. What's great about science is that it doesn't care if you believe in it or not, it's still true. That flat earth rocket dunce found that one out firsthand. Can you believe the tourism if those 4 states became a country? While I agree, this statement of a belief in science frightens me. It's not something to believe in. It's a system for creating an empirical understanding of repeatable observations. Then we use those observations to build the computers and cell phones and internet that people in turn use to deny science. It's freaking terrifying. This is absolutely hilarious, trying to watch Reddit justify my Democrat governor going full anti-vaxxer just because they hate Trump and pretend like this has anything to do with science. I guess I'll be taking a trip to Idaho when the vaccine is released. LMAO, when people want a vaccine to go through the usual procedure for vaccines so they know it's completely safe and actually does its job. Critical thinking is not hard. Critical thinking, pharma companies are not cooking this up in Trump's bat hub. You're watching the RNEWS show. From r/politics, Texas is currently leading the nation in youth voter turnout. And there's over 7x more youth voters than 2016. Personally, I don't think it will be enough. But here's to hoping it will be. Really, I live in Dallas and my boyfriend and I were both purged. We ended up getting re-registered on the last day. I've been dreading having to wait in line all day Tuesday to vote. Yes, this is absolutely correct. You may vote today if you like. And I strongly recommend that you do. Lines will likely get longer as we near election day. The good news, however, is that Dallas County has 61 plus early voting sites open between now and Friday. On election day, the county will have over 400. You're eligible to vote at any of them with your acceptable ID. Parts of which I listed above. Thank you, you just saved me hours of waiting in line next Tuesday. You're welcome. Let me know if you have any issues. I've served as a poll clerk and as a volunteer deputy registrar. So I'd be happy to help you sort out any mix-ups or concerns you have. Youth heavily favor Biden, and believe it or not, they are more enthusiastic about Biden than older voters despite favoring Bernie before. The youth understand defeating fascism is of the utmost importance. 19Y, Texan. It seems like everyone I know from high school has posted on Instagram or Snapchat with their little I voted sticker, and it makes me so happy to see. You're watching the RNEWS show. From r/World News. Putin orders new national mask mandate as Russia sees second COVID-19 spike. This is going to confuse all the Republicans wearing "Better Russian than a Democrat" shirts while holding their anti-mask signs. It's not going to confuse them, because they're never going to hear about it in their choice of news and social media outlets. Or they might just not care. Anything that seems to contradict Trumpers just gets glossed over and forgotten. It's cognitive dissonance as a lifestyle. Trump, WTF, I love masks. Putin must be laughing himself silly as his anti-mask boy. Trump is overtly making sure as many Americans get sick and die as possible. It's too easy. When a nation destroys itself because it won't wear a little piece of cloth across its nose and mouth. I think people forget Putin isn't some kind of idiot. He's very intelligent and surrounds himself with intelligent people. He's KGB. That whole fear of Russia launching nukes is just stupid. He successfully harmed America morally, and that did far more damage than a nuke ever could. He used psychological warfare to cause long-term damage to the country and its economy. He put a puppet in place, and used America's own media to completely freak the country up its butt. And that's where we're going to end today's show. But if you like what you saw, leave a like, and if you want to see more of the RNEWS show, hit that subscribe button. As always, this has been the RNEWS show, and I'll see you tomorrow.